How was that, Darren?
Perfect. Perfectly executed. Perfectly silent. You just jumped onto Electric Avenue.
I jumped onto Electric Avenue. I've ridden the bike a pretty decent amount over the last about 6 weeks. I took some time off to get the suspension set up for free riding, for ramps and stuff, but this is my 3rd day actually riding ramps. I got a couple of days, probably ridden out in the hills after the rain, 3 days, and then 3 days on a ramp. But other than that, mostly just trail riding and 1 track day, a little bit here and there.
You got to go on that trip with Alta, right? Out to Utah?
Yeah, we went to Caneville, Moab, and Bonneville. And Caneville on these things was pretty epic. Like being out there, we were all by ourselves because it was winter and it was cold, but being able to be in that vast of an environment and just silence, like went on some pretty epic like sunset trail rides where it just, you get a different vibe when it's silence. It's almost like a mountain bike where, I don't know, I loved it because it was peaceful. Like.
Yeah. And then that was to shoot their 2018 stuff, so that stuff should probably drop here in the near future, right?
Yeah, the 2018 stuff should be coming soon.
Nice. So I guess coming from your perspective, you've been a freestyle rider for years. What was it like to adapt to this thing on your end?
Honestly, it was kind of hairball at first, like just because you don't, like we judge stuff a lot on like gearing and how like for speed. And when we went to Caneville, like some of the first stuff we jumped, like 100 plus like do or die jumps, and you go out there and like it's been a couple years since I've been out there, and I was like, well, let's just see what happens. And I've always usually had pretty good timing, and I jump a lot of stuff on 125s, 250s, 450s, like, so I just told myself it's 2 wheels and a throttle and it's all going to be the same, and pretty much worked out. Like everything I jumped, my timing has been spot on and wasn't as bad to adapt as I thought, so it was cool.
Yeah, and I guess the biggest thing is you're one of only a couple people that have flipped it. Like, what was it like throwing a flip?
The first flip was kind of, I won't really say I was scared, but it was, really didn't know what was going to happen. Like the bike definitely has a different feel without all the centrifugal motion of the engine and stuff turning in there. So the battery is pretty heavy. So it was just that initial getting the weight of the battery rotating. And it was, I mean, I flipped exactly the same, but you can just, the bike in general, it just has a different feel without that, the motion of the engine. So it's exactly the same. It just had a little bit different feel, like as the bike does in general, even just on a moto track or turning, like it's cool. Like it works awesome. Like I'm able to whip it, I'm able to flip it. All my tricks are like the same. I've been really impressed with how it works. Like I've been having a blast on it.
The people that aren't familiar, they have like 4 power settings.
Yeah.
Where do you prefer to ride it when you're riding freestyle?
If I'm riding freestyle, I'll put it on 3. 1's super good for trail riding, like mellow, like you can just, it's a tractor. You can go up anything and the thing just hooks up. 2's like basically like almost like a stock 250F power curve. And like if I'm riding a track or something, like I'll usually run it on that just because it's hooks up, it's super easy to ride. If there's bigger jumps, I'll put it on 3 just because I like to have that extra bit. Like 3, the thing rips. Like I'd say I normally ride a 252 stroke for freestyle most of the time, and it's power-wise is right there with it, if not better than my 252 stroke. Like it's, obviously you have a different feeling with the way it comes on with the power band and not having gears, but I mean, I jump everything the same. I cruise into it, I gas it at the bottom of the ramp, and it's pretty bitchin'. I'm digging it.
What for you is the coolest part about it, because it's kind of a whole new realm?
I think the sweetest part about it is just like, I mean, most of the freestyle spots that we have, everyone's places, like they're all pretty residential and they all get shut down with noise complaints. And I mean, that's been the standard issue since I've started riding freestyle over the last 15 years. Every place that we've had has gotten shut down over noise. And I could set my ramp up anywhere and no one's even gonna know you're riding. Like the thing we've ridden on our Alta shoot that we did in Utah, we were riding a vacant lot in downtown Salt Lake City for a half hour doing motos next to an apartment building and a dentist office, like in downtown Salt Lake. And me and Tim Fuzzy Hall are shredding motos on these things and no one even looked. Like we went out on the sidewalk afterwards to like cross the road and go back to where we were staying, and people were walking out of the apartment building and never even knew we were there. Like, I mean, it definitely opens up a lot of stuff where you definitely got to be respectful and you can't just go charge anything, but there's a lot of places where, you know, people have land and it gets shut down, and it definitely opens up a lot of avenues for that. Like, see a lot of cool areas where we can, you know, even for freestyle shows, Nate and I were talking about places you could do it where you're not going to be bugging people as bad. Like, I mean, there's it's definitely a cool thing. Like,
if someone came up to you when you were like 12 or 14 years old and told you that you'd be flipping on an electric bike, what would you have said?
It wouldn't even have made sense. Like, I mean, if someone told me that, I wouldn't even have believed I'd be flipping on any bike, but the fact that it's electric, like, that's even gnarlier. Like, I wouldn't even have thought that a couple years ago. Like, I've ridden a few different versions of them through the past, and like, some of them were pretty close and, you know, pretty solid bikes, and you could see where they could, like, but they weren't ever really true moto bikes. They were always just beefed up mountain bikes with like moto plastics. And I mean, this thing is a full moto bike. Like, you gotta like get on it and respect it. Like, it'll bite you if you think it's a toy.
That's sick, man. Well, shoot, we'll look forward to seeing you ride it.
For sure.